Hi everyone, Jewel back with another astrology video, and today we're talking about people with their sun square the moon and what they're like and a little bit about their personality. Excuse me. And as I'm always reminding people, you have to look at the entire birth chart because not just one aspect is going to tell you what someone is like. You have to look at the entirety of the birth chart. So when I do these videos, we're just talking about one thing. So, just one thing is not going to tell you everything. So always keep that in mind. Excuse me. So people with their sun square the moon, this is the aspect known for self-sabotage. They really get in their own way, and they have a real inner struggle. There's a real inner tension inside them, and they are very emotional because of it. Not emotional like, woo-hoo-hoo, I'm so touched, but emotional like there's a struggle going on. There's like a volatility that's just under the surface with these people. And the reason why they have these issues is because we have the sun, which is the conscious, and the moon, which is the unconscious, and these two are in a war with each other because they're in, a 90-degree angle or, roughly thereof. And, it's the emotions and the intellect at odds. And it takes some maturity for these people to figure out how to handle their feelings and how to make a success out of their lives, because their actions and their feelings do not match up. And they're struggling with each other. So, what they want and what they need are always different. And they tend to find this inner struggle, this plays out in their outside world. They'll see this as being very, very easily frustrated and, shows up as outside obstacles and enemies. And they can attribute this to, this is the way the world is, when really it is the world reacting to the way that they are. And it's, over time they learn to get a handle on this. And this is one of those aspects that can actually lead to a great amount of wiseness in a person. I don't know if wiseness is a word, but it can make a person very wise because they learn to really understand what the psyche is and what human nature is all about, because there is such a requirement that they learn to understand themselves in order to have some kind of peace with themselves. There can be a lot of really amazing learning that comes from that, and they can actually, they get over this usually. This is something that really shows up in the first half of life and into early adulthood, and usually people with sun square the moon get a handle on this more in early adulthood and are able to make, a success out of themselves because they're not, getting in their own way all the time or disrupting their own plans or, sabotaging themselves in some form. Let's see, the war between nurturing and independence is an issue as well with them. They want to be close, but yet they want to totally do their own thing. So, they typically have problems in school and with social groups. And adverse aspects, any aspects between the sun and the moon, really give you clues about the parents' relationship. And most of the time, the majority of the time, and of course not everybody is going to be the same because you have to look at everything in the birth chart, but a lot of the time, the reason that people have their sun square the moon is traced back to childhood because there was a tension in the home. It was usually an unspoken tension. Sometimes it was spoken. There was usually divorce between the parents. Sometimes, you know, this was not the experience because, you know, there's like really awesome things going on in the birth chart, you know, between the other planets that, you know, show the parents. But the majority of the time there was tension in the home. And it just, you know, infiltrated the psyche of these people with their sun square the moon, and they play that out in their own lives as a result. And they blame others for their own problems. This is a huge symptom of sun square the moon in younger years, a lack of the ability to take responsibility. And you really know when these people start to get a handle on this aspect when they do start to take responsibility for their own actions and for the consequences that come from their actions. They want to pass the buck. And they must learn to take responsibility for their own actions in their own lives if they're going to make a success out of themselves. And, you know, and like I mentioned, you know, they can really grow as a result of having this aspect more than other people and actually realize more about themselves and people around them at an earlier age than others, because there's been so much, you know, self-examination required in order to, you know, get somewhere in life and to make themselves happy and to achieve, you know, peace of mind, because the mind and the emotions are always in conflict. So that's my analysis of people with sun square the moon. I'll be back next time with sun in conjunct the moon. And I hope to see you soon. You can find me on Facebook at Truth in Aspect Astrology and on the internet at truthinAspectAstrology.com. And I do consultation. If you want an appointment, just email or message me and I will get back to you. See you soon, soon, soon. Bye-bye, everybody.